Hey guys, Rexasol here and welcome to Patch Notes on today, the 3rd of June 2025. It is a very dark and dreary day today, which is why I have lights on everywhere. It's been a week, as it always is. We are now in June, fast approaching the halfway point of this year, which has happened quite rapidly, I would like to say. I would look up to my calendar to tell you what happened last week, but we've wiped off May, so I just have to remember it from my brain power. Last week, so starting on Tuesday, because that is how that works, was my first day back in the office. It was very wet, very rainy, as it has been over the last week or so. And I had some 3D prints from my good friend Aaron that I was going to pick up during the work day, so I was going to go home for lunch as I usually do, and in the meantime go and meet up with Aaron to pick up these 3D prints. And because it was raining, he offered to give me a lift home instead, with a small detour to Asda to get some things, and I was like, cool, that's actually convenient for me as well. So picked me up, went to Asda. It was very nice, very chill, very wet. Didn't bring an umbrella because I'm an idiot at the time. And then on our way home, the car broke down. Yep, very cool. The worst part was it was at an intersection, like a crossroads, where you turn off from one main road to go onto another. But at a four-way light, I think five-way actually, there's like a fifth road, so you had one road going like that, one road going like this, and then another one going like that, and we were very much flat bang in the middle, ready to turn, and the car just lost all power. Later it turns out it's because the battery just died entirely, so that was fun. So despite the fact that I was feeling really great about the fact that I would not have to get wet in this expedition, that did not plan out in the slightest, as I had to get out of the car. We had a very kind gentleman come and help us. Me and him pushed whilst Aaron steered the vehicle, which later he advised when we first initially started pushing, the steering had locked, so we couldn't. He was actually just going straight forward, which would have been very bad. But luckily, I think one rotation of the wheels put enough power that it unlocked the wheel, and we were able to turn it then into the off-road and wait for the breakdown people to come. Certainly eventful. I was actually very surprised by how light a car is to push, and I feel like there's an element of it was a Fiat 500, so quite a light car in general, and also it was on wheels. And I gotta say, whoever these people, I'm assuming it wasn't just one individual, but the discovery of the wheel, honestly, game changing. I don't think it's a better invention. I think it's just crazy the fact that such effectively a heavy vehicle can be pushed quite. I gotta say, it wasn't that strenuous. Could be because the other guy was probably putting a lot of effort into it as well. But honestly, we just live in such a great society where wheels exist and we can push cars places when they don't work. So anyway, yeah. So the person left us. There was also a very nice old gentleman who came and said he has a tow and was happy to tow us somewhere. But at that point, we were just, we were off the side. We had a breakdown cover coming. So yeah, even though we ended up not using his services, I feel like we were quite grateful that he offered them in the first place. So, and especially I feel that there's an element of, you live in an era where people helping other people out is, I don't want to say uncommon, but it's not something that everyone goes around and witnesses on a day by day. So the fact that two people had come out of their way in the pouring rain to offer their help, honestly, it's really cool to see. But yeah, so that happened. The breakdown cover itself was interesting. We called, and then they told us that an email would be sent in to fill out the form, because that was the easiest and fastest way to get help, and I just feel like that's really strange. So yeah, very weird. But at that point, when I knew that they were on their way allegedly, I left because I was still technically on the clock. My lunch hour had finished, so I had to walk home, get home in the pouring rain, and finish my shift, which had to be extended to complete the hours I had missed, or the hour. It wasn't that long really, but yeah, so that was interesting. And then luckily Aaron was they came to him, towed him back to his place, and then just switched out the battery entirely. Just dead battery. It happens. So make sure your battery on your cars are new or not in need of refitting, guys. Sometimes they just break down, but yeah, either way, very eventful. I had a great time. Gives you a good story. Then on Tuesday evening we went out for food. What did we do Tuesday evening? It wasn't food. Well, it was fast food. We went to the board game cafe with my in-laws, where we played Camel Up, which is a fundamentally amazing game. Absolutely love that game. And then some Code. What's it called? You can just say out loud. Codenames, that's it, thank you. Codenames, but it was the picture version rather than the word version, which was interesting. It was a very different aspect of the game. So, anyway, that was good. Did that, went home, very chill. Wednesday, back in the office. Then we didn't do anything on Wednesday. I think I just painted. Watched a bunch of Timberborn, I think, is what happened in the evening. And then Thursday, office again. But then when I came home, I packed all my Warhammer stuff because I went to Firestorm to play Aaron, some Horus Heresy. Played 2,000 points, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Got to play my new cool 3D printed stuff that he printed for me. I put them all together. They are really cool. I would show them, but they're far away from my desk. They are not painted, although they are now sprayed, other than the big vehicle, the grav tank that I've got. Because I'm not going to be... I've got other things that I'm focusing on in painting. That thing's going to be a challenge just because of the size. But yeah, really, really, really cool game. Once again, playing my Custodes. He bought a large tank force, and honestly, the dice rolls were all over the place that game. The amount of times that he should have wounded or hit when he didn't, or the law of averages was basically not on his side for that game. And also, I got some grav bikes, basically is what they are, and I kind of included them just because I wanted to try them out, with the assumption that they were just the same as the regular infantry boys but with faster movement. Turns out, nah, they are absolutely insane anti-vehicle bikes. They only have one single attack, but it's strength 10 AP1, which for those in the game, that's like the maximum strength and the maximum armor piercing value. So, but you only get one, which is fine. It's like basically a missile, but it's armed by a man. So that was, I realized at that point, it's like, oh, I accidentally bought the hard counter to his list. So I felt pretty bad, to be honest, but hey. I know, Tio, last week during my thing, you were talking about Custodes as a pay to win. We discussed this with Aaron. In fact, Custodes are very much the opposite. They are a don't pay to win, because Custodes, whilst if you're looking at it from a model per money count, yes, they are expensive. They're actually, to get a whole army, it costs maybe a quarter of how much it costs to build a regular army. So if anything, I'm actually just spending less to win more. Can't complain. So yeah, they're just dumb. They're just a dumb army. They're not really a dumb army. You can very much counter them. In Horus Heresy, they are incredibly strong, but they also do have some failings about them. It depends what you're doing with them effectively, and how your opponent faces against them. I just happened to have. I don't know my army, so I happen to have accidentally bought the hard counter, but I'm sure if I hadn't had those vehicles, the jet bikes, I would have struggled to take out the vehicles because I would have had to use different equipment, had to go closer to them in a slower way. But there was an element where I charged those into a unit of infantry, and the infantry held for a turn and a half, I think, something like that. So, at that point I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And if the dice rolls had gone a different way, like, as I said, they've only got one attack. If you miss that attack, you're kind of like, well, there goes a third if I miss one, or 2/3 because they're only in units of 3. So, and Aaron also had a flyer, and the flyer took out my grav tank on the turn it came in, and at that point the flyer was effectively immune from most of everything because I don't have any shooting. So it's just little things like that. But it was a really fun game. I really enjoy Heresy. There was a lot of cool things that happened, cool story moments, and I'm going to be playing again on Friday. I'm hoping that I'm going to be playing Matt, who is one of Aaron's friends, who I haven't played yet, just because I like playing new opponents. And it would be nice to just get to know him a bit better as well, because I've seen him around. He's been in the vicinity when we played, but I've yet to actually have a game against him. But I'm also really looking forward to playing my Custodes in 40k. This weekend the new match play pack comes out. I think tomorrow the new data slate comes out. So yeah, it'll be good to just get back into 40k. I'm going to be doing an event in July regarding that. So yeah, it should be fun. And I'll be able to play Custodes I know in 40k they are still strong, but they're definitely more mutable because of the way armor piercing works in 40k compared to Heresy. But they're still very, very good. Anyway, that's that. And that was Thursday. That was good fun. Then Friday we had a chill time at home. More painting. I've been painting loads. I've only got 16 more models to paint, including my grav tank, so 15 that are sprayed of the Custodes. Once I've painted them all, I'm going to be I've got 5 more coming. I've got 5 sisters finally coming. They were impossible to find, but they're coming along with the data pack, so I guess there's another 5 there. But I'm going to be going back into old world painting. They've announced that there's going to be a match play and a revision of the entire rule set. It's a revision. It's an FAQ, errata, and changes to certain aspects of the game. Finally, so it's really good because we're not getting a whole new edition, but we're getting something that will be competitive minded, which will make more balanced games, and it will make things less powerful, things more resilient. From the little things that have leaked online, it looks like it's going to be a really cool. Infantry's going to be back in the game. It's going to really change how lists are made, which is great because I've got 2 events happening. I've got one in September and one in October for Old World, so that'll be good to figure out and find that. So I'm very much focusing a lot of my efforts at the moment into Warhammer and D&D, because we're in June. D&D is going all the way. So I had it's 3 days. We are the 3rd of June. I've had 2 days of D&D already. I had one on Sunday, one on Monday. I've accidentally ended up in the horror aura of the year somehow. Both groups have had otherworldly horror themes happening, which I'm not going to spoil other than to say that one of them is dealing with so far undead zombies and the other with apparitional shadows. So it's quite interesting. I've accidentally this was not intended at any way, it kind of just happened. I was like, oh god, okay, well, look what I'm doing. But it's good because it means I'm basically riffing off myself. I understand what I'm doing and I'm seeing what's doing good with one group I can do with the other. And yeah, yesterday's session especially was really good at that atmosphere of unease, unsettling, inability to really do anything. Whereas the first group was very much you are in a random like the Jurassic Park of like, where the hell are we? And then suddenly zombie dinosaur. It's like, what the hell? It's a dinosaur but also a zombie. And then yeah, several zombies stuff, undead. So we'll see what happens with both these groups. The storylines for both of these are going to be really fun. I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about them, and they are somewhat entwined, oddly. Not intentionally, but they have become that. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, really, really, really grateful to be back in D&D, because after taking effectively a month off of really focusing on it, because with the other group we missed a few sessions, and the sessions that we did do were not fully realised. They were kind of, this is happening, but it's not, I've not fully categorised what is going to be happening, and now that I have done that with both these groups, it's going to be really good. And that's D&D. So that was good fun. Yeah, and then yeah, other than that, just been chilling, painting, lots of painting. I've not really been playing any video games because of it. I've just been, every time that I've been sat on my computer with some time and being like, I could play a game, I'm like, I kind of want to just paint actually. So I've been doing that. I'm literally right now, I've got some boys waiting for their turn. So yeah, good stuff. What's happening this week? Tonight we've got a Baldur's Gate 3 again. Finally, it's been a while. Tomorrow we might be doing the pub quiz again. I need to wait on whether or not that's going through. Thursday we'll be playing some Plate Up with my friends. A game that I really, really enjoy playing. So it'd be nice to play more of that, because it's been a very long time since I have. But it's good fun, lots of shenanigans. Friday, Horus Heresy. That should be a really good time. I didn't forget to buy my ticket this time. I bought it straight away. Last week I forgot to buy my ticket entirely. Had to buy it at the store, and I have a membership which should give me free reign, but because you buy it at the time you still have to, or something like that. Either way, it was, last week was actually really poor service that we received, because I went down, bought my ticket, and then was like, can you set up the table? And I had to ask 3 times to get someone to set up the table. Not great. Anyway, that happens. And then Saturday, now I can look at my June. I don't think we're doing anything Saturday. And then Sunday, D&D. At least not doing anything Saturday that I know of, but that's fine. I'm liking having these quiet Saturdays. I can focus on things. So I did a lot of D&D prep last Saturday, like a lot of D&D prep Saturday. For my Sunday group, I basically prepped the entirety of the island that they're currently on, like the entirety of it, because nothing had been done basically until the day before, and that's just because of how much stuff was going on. I didn't have the time to do it, but I managed to get that storyline fully realised. I kind of had inklings of what I wanted to do, but yeah, really, really cool. So this Saturday might be able to expand other things, do preps from other parts of the world, or do just other things, which will be nice. And that's basically it. I can't really think of anything else to talk about. Next week, on Monday, we have the release of the live action How to Train Your Dragon, so we're definitely going to be seeing that next week at some point. Very excited for that. It is a show that is, or a franchise say, that is very close to mine and my wife's hearts, so we're very, very excited. Even on my desk I've got little toothless here, and then a little stormfly as well, and my duck's hat just fell off. I've still got the duck here as well. There's a little hat. Yeah, that's basically everything that's been happening. I hope that you guys have had a good week. Hope you guys have a good week ahead. That the weather doesn't bring you too much down. This is British weather. We can get through it. Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great time, and I will talk to you next week. Ta.